Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Freedom International live stream. I'd like to start by just giving thanks for everything that's been happening because sometimes when things get so rough, as if we forget to give thanks. But as I see it as in a whole, all the difficulties, all the challenges, whether it be my personal life or my community, it seems like good things is still come up, but it's up to us to make it really manifest into good opportunities. And so please give thanks to whatever you're doing, and I give thanks to all my friends, my new friends from around the world whom I haven't even seen or touched personally, but now they've become really close as like family friends. Okay, so welcome. And whatever you are doing and you like what we have been having a conversation in the past live stream and especially today, please share it. And if we could touch one person at a time, that will be awesome. So today with me are podcasters Hartmut Schumacher from Go Your Own Path, and he is from Germany. And I have John Katsavos from the Fitness Oracle, and he is from Canada. And I have Steve Fierro from Asia with Awakened Mind. And I have Dr. Carl Moore from Made in Nature podcast from Ireland. And yours truly from originally from the Philippines, but I am in Princeton, New Jersey, and Quantum Nurse is my podcast. And of course, we are so honored and thank you so much. We are grateful for everything that Dr. Kari Made has been doing. And, she has wealth of knowledge, and some of the information that she has is scary, but actually those are information that we need to know so that we can be armed for what's coming. And it's up to us again to get that best opportunity to make it into a beautiful manifestation of love and community. So thank you, Dr. Made.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be with all of you today.
Dr. Made, for those who want to know, and she is from Dearborn, Michigan, and received her medical degree from Kansas City University of Medical Biosciences in 2001. She then completed her traditional internship at the Medical Center in Columbus, Georgia, and internal medicine residency at Mercer University in Macon, Georgia. So Dr. Made has a long list of accomplishments and continuing his study from all over uh, established, credible institutions. And of course, she's one of the most outspoken because she knows that she has this mission to impart to all of us what needs to be to be shared. And so thank you. And if you want to know more about Dr. Kari Made, it's not difficult to find information about her. What resonates to you, please share it, and be a critical thinker when you're doing it, and feel sense every word and every sound that she's going to utter, because all of this, whether she speaks about AI or consciousness, the sound matters. So I invite you to just open your heart and your mind and your whole being and just be with us. Dr. Kari Made, how about you start by telling us how's your family, and like how did you grow up and then suddenly you end up have all this information? I'm hoping
Oh,
one of those AI.
well, let's see. I can tell you that when I was really young, I did not, my parents were young when they had me. We didn't go to churches, but when I was 3 years old, I remember this. Back then, it was in the early 70s, people would say, "Oh, Carrie, if you're not a good girl, God will punish you." That's kind of what they said back then. And I remember getting really angry. I put my hand on my hip and I said, "No, God is love. God loves you." I said, "God doesn't punish you. You punish yourself." And I would go and I would preach to people around. And so I, the point of that is that I felt like I've always known God. And I felt like we all knew God before we were born. And so that kind of started my mission on of just kind of speaking my truth and always being a critical thinker, always questioning everything. I have a unique family. My mother, my father used to build dragsters, the really fast cars, the really long, skinny cars with the parachutes that come out. And my mother would drive them. She's a race car driver. So, yeah, it was a different kind of family. And I really got inspiration from my mother and father. My dad was always making inventions. He worked for Ford Motor Company. And if I wasn't a doctor, I would have been an engineer making inventions as well. So yeah, very different. And I use that idea. I use that thinking of how to think about how things worked and to go backwards and try to find the source of a problem from looking and watching them. So that was my background. And going into medicine, I always wanted to help people, and I always wanted to find the root cause or find the cures of things. And so with my osteopathic training, it's different than an allopathic MD, where we look for, we believe that the mind, body, and spirit are all intricately connected to your health, and that each one is very important and interrelated, and that the body knows how to heal itself, that we're just educators and teachers. So we look for the blockages, what is blocking you from healing, and then teaching you what health is. And so in applying those principles, I found over my not just my education, but also in my clinic, how we were being lied to. We were being lied to that, oh, you're just born with a disease and that's what you have. It's just your genetics. And that's not true. What I found out is there's causes of everything. Heart attacks and strokes can be prevented. The cause is dental bacteria most of the time. That's being hidden from everybody. Pfizer actually found that out, and they hid the data from everybody. We were part of a research experiment in my hospital, and we found that out. All cancers have a primary infection and a primary toxin behind them, but that's being hidden from people as well. When they get a cancer screening for colon cancer, for instance, the gene they're looking for is not your gene. They're actually looking for the gene of an infection, a streptococcus bacteria that comes again from the dental area. So when they find that you're at high risk for having colon cancer, would they ever tell you that, hey, you should look for the cause and fix the dental area? They won't tell you that no money is to be made. So when I was researching all these and finding these out, it opened my eyes to really what was making us sick in the world, what made the world run. It's all about money and control. And so this got me started on the path of questioning even more things. But of course, when you do that and you start making people better, you help them to overcome their illnesses and disease states. And then they don't need the procedures or the big tests or the expensive chemo agents or the transplants. Well, you get noticed, and I was getting noticed by government agencies and insurance companies. And I thought that would be a good thing. And it wasn't a good thing because people weren't making their money anymore. And so I found out quickly how the world is. And so at some point when I did not stop doing what I was doing, I would not stop helping people. I was recruited for a short time to these organizations. And in these recruitment meetings, they talk to us about the future of humanity, the future of the world. And in these meetings, the people in the meetings, the idea was that we would be part of it, part of the controllers, and then the rest of the people we would help control. And this is how I got introduced to the idea of nanotechnology, of transhumanism, of artificial intelligence integration with the human body. And I am totally against that idea. I don't think it's a good idea at all. So that's how I gained my knowledge. And then when I saw this pandemic unfold, I realized that the technology that I learned about in these meetings was being applied right now inside of these injections. And so I started speaking up again. And that's kind of my story.
That is so amazing, and I'm glad and I'm glad you recognize that family relationship and exposure was already the beginning, because I believe that most of us, if we go back to our childhood, it seems like there were little bits of things already preparing us for the future. And for
Yes.
us here, as a group of podcasters, someone has already told us actually that we do come from the future, and we just recognized our soul family, our over soul
Yeah.
family. So
Yeah.
that feels good, whether people believe that or not, but we believe that, and it's up to us with what we believe. And Dr. Made, I'm so glad also that you mentioned about the dental, because yes, it's many times when I attend even integrative conferences before, and they talk about metal toxicity